Greensboro, North Carolina, sit-in 1960. In 1960, two black colleges in Greensboro, North Carolina wanted to change the segregation laws. The students decided to use nonviolent ways to get desegregation where they lived. The group decided to start with the restaurant in a big department store called Woolworth's. It was a good target for getting desegregation because the department store was around the nation. Then on February 1st, 1960, four college men went to a whites-only Woolworth's lunch counter. They ordered donuts and coffee, and they were not served. They stayed until the restaurant closed and came back the next day with three more men. They stayed from 11 o'clock to 3. They were still not served, but they stayed, did homework, and read. Local newspapers and television stations started to do stories about them as they continued with the sit-in. Then college students called other activists around the nation and let them know what was happening in Greensboro. They called it a sit-in. By 2 days later, February 3rd, there were 60 students involved who rotated time sitting at the restaurant. Members of the Ku Klux Klan came and harassed and annoyed the students some, while other people came to sit in who helped out with the sit-in, including white students from a women's college in Greensboro. The sit-in spread to other department store restaurants in Greensboro. Also, while the sit-ins were happening, there were people picketing and boycotting the lunch restaurants. When summer arrived, many of the college students returned home, but the local black high school students continued with the sit-in. Then, on July 26th, the Woolworth Company agreed to serve all properly dressed and well-behaved people, regardless of race. There was a lot of media coverage of the sit-in with newspaper and television stories giving information around the country. Greensboro was not the first to do a sit-in to desegregate restaurants, but it was a very influential method of protesting that influenced other protests later on in the civil rights movement.